Okay, so jumping straight into it, fame versus hype. Hype builds of fame. Fame cannot be built of hype. Hype is too fleeting, pretty similar to the relationship of money and power explained by President Francis J. Underwood in House of Cards. Time to argue that fame is more important than fight hype. Would you rather sell action figures and energy drinks every season or hit the bank once like a crook? I'm asking. To me, doesn't make sense. Inflation is a thing. When the cost of hunting becomes a natural expense, it becomes hard to take down a buffalo, hungry, even if you are a lion of the Sabi Sands. In this case, a couple of rabbits would do. Not enough to pelt the whole village, but your instincts live to survive another day. The story of my time in jail and the lessons I learned are for another day, but you always got to be graphing all your lines, and you must sabenza to mameza. You make out discipline. What am I saying? You should always work to maximize all existing able and functioning revenue streams totally. It is in doing so that new ones appear. First, don't go chasing waterfalls, just stick to the rivers and streams you used to. It is in doing this that your existing platforms take on the new form of new structures in its entirety while maintaining base characteristics. When trying to solve a problem, it's important to build a multi-dimensional shape and then derive. Be it through reflection or perspective, irrelevant. The game isn't peer-to-peer, awfully and regrettably too random. How can you control randomness? By creating random shapes utilizing existing structures, kind of like a cookie cutter. To sum the points up neatly, food goes down well with a good bottle of wine. Both can be consumed in singularity, yes, but in unity, Michelin star stuff. Mixing sour and bitter sweet with hot. I never got the whole destroyer arc system as an actual economic system. It just never made sense to me, especially in South Africa, but I think it has real world applicancy as I've seen in some intercontinental examples in my own life. What I mean by what I'm saying is this. Building a business then dedicating every waking moment to destroying a competition makes no sense to me. Destroying the own market that you actually operate in creates a vacuum. It's just instant gratification, kind of like breaking into a house, rob all the expensive jewels, but you set the house on fire. So yes, you're rich, well done, but for how long and often? Keyword often. Will you even survive to see your newfound riches, and if you do, how often can that process be repeated? What makes most sense to me is the concept of sharing. This can be quite a foreign concept for some of our international audience, which I understand. I did say I would publicly disclose my private commercial interests, make them public for obviously the purposes of promoting the spirits of goodwill, as well as to start a conversation to the introduction of structure and compliance thereof within African private enterprises. The ideal in mind is to obviously showcase the benefits of the aforementioned by providing materials proving the direct correlation of goodwill and compliance and what it enjoys with a positive bottom line as well as shareholder gratification. Why and how Gratification is important in all of this is simple yet complicated. Without giving too much away prematurely, Gratification is responsible for adding public cultural gratification into this equation. So let's go deeper into this. The subject was once thought to be not so totally relevant on matters of state policy, revenue, arts, entertainment, and sport, like the initial basket being passed that got on to feed the 5,000 is the example led forth by current UFC middleweight champion and future Hall of Famer Gratification, as well as future champion Cameron Saman. Why are they important? Well, leaving out the massive role that both have played in bringing hype to the international combat sports, as actually point being proven, other sports as well, rugby being a massive one. We all saw that stunt Drickus pulled at the World Cup is a pretty cheeky bugger. What I'm saying is Drickus, Cameron, the EFC, both respective teams, the Ministry of Sports, the Ministry of Arts and Culture, State Office, and not least forgetting all investors and role players. I don't even think it is being studied how old school was created to be a vehicle that reignites South African culture in a way that's able to make the showcasing of its servicings and offerings in a manner which hasn't proven efficiency can be achieved in any greater form.